What is up, guys? This is Troy from Sweet Reps back at you. We're going to start on this BMW wrap. We're going to start on the hood. We've got everything sanded down and leveled out. From there, we're going to move on to the fenders and then start seeing what we could do after that. We might be doing the back today as well and the doors. Who knows? It just depends on how easy this material is to work with. We are doing this in KKvinyl. I have worked with it several times before and had no issues. This is PET backing, so it is a higher quality than paper backing liner. So let's get the hood cut out. We'll try a piece and see how easy it is to work with, and from there we'll keep going. We'll actually wipe this down with some ceramic coating or some tack reducer, just so it could help us out in the long run. All you really need is this big flat area to be coated with. Other than that, everything's fine. These areas you've got easy access to, so you really don't need to put on those edges. But as far as the metal goes, it's a big flat area. A lot of these Chinese calendar films do have a higher tack, so this will help you in the long run. It'll make your job so much easier, and it'll keep you from getting a lot of adhesive lines while heating and repositioning. So guys, this is my first attempt at doing the hood. The reason why I fast forwarded it is because I did have clear peel up on this hood. You're gonna see it at the end of the video, at the end of this forwarded section, but it did peel up on me on the back corners, on the edges closer to the driver's side and the passenger side door. So the piece was pretty much ruined. When clear sticks to the backing like this or to the material like this, it is really hard to get it separated or get it off of the actual material itself. As you can see, I did section off the bottom end of the hood right here, because it was too long for the material to stretch to. It was about a foot longer than the material. This material is pretty thick and it is satin. If you do stretch this too much, you will have it stretching back and eventually not covering the whole hood itself. So what you want to do on hoods like this, if you can get a thinner film, you might be able to stretch it that about 12 inches, 6 inches max, the extra over that hood. But for thicker films and satin finishes like this, you might not be able to get it past that. So here we go. This is me finishing up the hood, and as you can see right now, when I get to the back end corners, I do lift it up, and unfortunately some clear came up with the film. Stuff like this, you're going to want to relay to the customer, make sure that the customer knows everything that goes wrong with the vinyl wrap and how they would like to proceed. Something like this can be a deal breaker for you, especially when you're working with Chinese film. It only comes in 60 feet vinyl rolls, so if you lose a big piece like this, you might not be able to finish the rest of the vehicle. Alright guys, here we are a couple days later. We did do the hood, but if you could see on the last video, clear did peel up, so we did sand it quite a bit. As if you could see that, we did sand it quite a bit to where it's all smoothed out. We're gonna try it out after that. Hopefully we don't have any paint flaking issues or clear peeling back. We did sand it all down. We did give the car a quick wash with some dish soap, so it could strip all the waxes or additives that it might have on the paint. After that, we're going to get to wrapping it. So let's see how it goes, and we'll take it slow. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. If it does, we might have to order some more material. So let's get to it.
Cê é louco, meu Deus.
And that's how we do it, guys. From a bad paint job to looking brand new. Of course, it doesn't look 100% of how I usually like doing it, but it's a great improvement, and we could only do as good as what we could work with. I'm just going to trim these up. As you can see, I wasn't able to do all the hood because there's a good maybe 5-6 inches away that we actually had to stretch, and I am not comfortable stretching this calendar film. It is super thick, especially since it's satin. It's a little bit thicker in gloss. You really don't want any pullbacks from this down the road, so you're going to want to seam it like this. All we're going to do is we're going to trim it out, lay it in, and get you wrapping the rest of the car. Alright guys, this is we're gonna do the quarter panel right now. As you can see, I got everything cut out. I did measure 140 inches. That was 6 inches past the front door there, just so we could get some extra slack, so we could cut out both doors and not have any issues with that fitting. So it's gonna be 140 on both sides, and I believe the hood was 67 inches, guys. So we're a good ways into that roll already. We did lose the hood because of the paint peel, but we should have enough because we're not doing the roof of this car. The roof of this car is black. We'll see if we have enough after this, but I'm gonna put you guys on a tripod and do a time lapse, and I'm gonna be listening to music so I won't talk so much. Alright guys, I'm back at it with this BMW, finishing it up. All we had to do was the bumper left. Client was going to get another bumper but decided not to, so we're finishing it up. All we have to do on this car is the bumper, I guess the rear of the car, I don't know, in between both tail lights, and that's pretty much it, guys. We just have that to do. We're gonna fix this license plate area because it did start lifting. This film is rather thick, so it does need a lot of post heating, and hardly any stretch. You pretty much have to post heat this before you even initially lay it, so you know that it's not gonna have any tension and pull back. Other than that, you're gonna have to heat this before you lay it, so you know that there ain't still no pre-stretch in it after you finish laying the piece. All these edges from the wing to the edge, this tight edge around this corner, and pretty much the whole rest of the car, door handles, everything is perfect, 100% perfect. There is no lifting anything on the rest of the vehicle besides the license plate area. So we're going to assess that, and we're going to finish off this vehicle, and we're going to showcase this whole video on my YouTube channel, hopefully in the next couple days, guys. This has been a long project just because we were been waiting for the rear end. Thank God we could get this all finished up and ready to go. This is a really nice color. It's a satin finish. This is a silver with gold flake in it. This is by KKvinyl, so this company is actually pretty good. I compare it to, I would say it's like a more lower quality tech wrap, but it is good. Not lower quality, lower cost tech wrap. You could find this for at least $200 to $400 difference than tech wrap. Still has a 2-year warranty. It still has a really good adhesion, and the only thing that I've noticed with this material is that some of it does leave adhesive when removed. That's the only thing. Not really baked on adhesive. It's just adhesive that you would have to remove with goof off or goo off, or what's it called? Yeah, goo off, I think it is called. And a rag. You could pretty much just wipe it off and everything will come off cleanly. It's not something that you have to get a steamer and a scraper for. Really good material. I've used it several times. Barely any failure. The colors, the brighter colors do fade just like any other company. But as far as that goes, let's get this finished. I want to show you guys how to do this very tight area and indents that a lot of people have trouble with, especially this top end, on how to do this curve without losing any tension on the top and bottom of this curve, because you could only pull it so much. You can't pull it too much or the material will start shrinking and you have a lot of fingers in this material once you're done. But I'll show you how to get this done without any tension ending on the end of the piece of the bumper, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Try it again. So you really don't need to get frustrated, guys. You can do this back to back. You really won't have any troubles unless you give up. Try not to give up. The more practice you get, the better you'll get at it. And the better you get at it, the less times you're gonna have to try. So, like I said, pick it all the way up and stretch around the corner. Just like that. And as you can see, guys, it already looks better than it was before. Majority of the tension's already down here. So what you're going to want to do is get that top end, squeegee with the hand, or with the squeegee, and then you're going to want to finish this off, putting most of the tension here at the bottom and the top, trying to keep this centerpiece as not stretched as possible so it can lay flat on those edges. So let's see. Right here, guys, I'm going to heat it up. And like I said, you're going to want to keep it as straight as possible. So when you put it down here at the edge, everything will lay with minimum to no tension. And there we go with this. What I like to do is I kind of like to put my fingers, like my thumb, at the ends of that bumper, so it can anchor down to the end of that bumper. You can see that. You're not going to want to put too much tension on it, but enough to where it'll stick, and you could maneuver it around. Once you heat it, it'll shrink down to where you want it to. So right here, I'm going to warm it up. That almost looks perfect, guys. As you can see, the fingers actually straighten themselves out just by putting a little bit of tension down, and we still have tension going towards the front of the bumper. You're going to want to have enough tension to where you could pretty much get it to the bottom of this corner without heating it. And then once you get here, you're going to want to lift it up to that corner and kind of keep it hovering around that. And as you can see, it pulls itself down. Let's see if we got it down right. It looks good. Still looks a little bit concerning, guys. But if we squeegee it right and keep the tension on it, squeegee left to right, there you go. As you can see, guys, we got fingers on this side, but not right underneath the really exaggerated corner right here. So If you want, what you do is take up that corner and you heat it and feed it into that crease. Right there. There we go, guys. We actually got it right around here. No creasing, no bubbles, and it's all the way down to that end where we're gonna cut. You don't have to go all the way down to the bottom of the bumper because there's another section there that we can do in another piece. All you're gonna want to do is pick up all these edges, pick them up, and relax the edges while you feed it into that part you're gonna cut on. Because if they're not relaxed, when they're in there and you cut it, once it heats, it's gonna start creating fingers and running up the bumper. So as you can see, got everything lined up pretty good right there. Pretty great. Everything's laying straight into that corner. Nothing's running up the bumper. Everything's laying right into that crease. And perfectly into that little piece where we're going to cut, guys. There's no fingers running up the bumper past that line that we're going to cut on. So that's a win to me. All you're going to want to do is going to keep on relaxing the edges and feeding into there. You don't want any pre-stretch or stretch left in that film. When you go to cut it, and then you're going to have it lifting up on you as your customer drives a car in the heat, especially here. We're in South Texas, guys. Down here, it's already getting to the hundreds. The other day, it was like 102 to 104. So, yeah, you're gonna want to post heat all of this, guys. Just make sure that everything's set. And doesn't have any more movement in it. As you can see, that's all I wanted to move. That's perfect. Squeegee it into that channel. And then you're going to trim it from there. And you should be good to go, guys. Same thing with these edges. If you have pre-stretch in them, you're going to want to pick them up, relax them, and try to get them to the edge with as minimal stretch as possible, so you won't have any issues of it stretching back down the road, guys. If you need to pick up a good majority of the piece, heat it, and if it's creating fingers, you're going to want to peel it back more until you have the material relaxed enough to where it's going to lay flat by itself. You don't want to have it creating fingers, and then once you go to cut it, it'll start shrinking back on its own. It could go back quite a ways, guys. As you can see, I don't have any movement at the wheel well. And hardly any movement at all on these channels. That means we're good to go, guys. Means that the stretch on these areas is already post heated out and ready to be laid, and the material won't move from there, guys. So we're gonna cut about an inch past the wheel well. Get all this stuff relaxed and around the corners that they're supposed to lay at. Just like that, guys. Fucking perfect. Anyways, yeah. So before we do the rest of the trimming, we're gonna want to get this to lay perfect. But with the tension that you see already, we're gonna get it laying perfect. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to get most of this up and ready to shrink. So you're gonna want to try to get most of these wrinkles out before you even start hitting it with the heat, or be able to lift it, because most of this is gonna lay by itself with the heat. And you can see right here, watch. Perfect. Just a little bit of tension upwards, and this will lay flat. Same with this corner. You're gonna want to lift it where all the bubbles are. Lift it. Keep a little bit of tension and heat it. And with the heat, it'll shrink around this corner. And I'll lay as flat as it can, just by itself, guys. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. And you don't have to worry about feeding it all the way in, guys. As soon as you hit to this, you're gonna put your squeegee into that crease as much as you can, and from there you're gonna want to just post heat all the edge, and you see how it pulled itself towards that corner instead of fingering. And if we heat it, it's pulling itself even more that way, guys. So once you cut it, it's gonna lay straight into that corner. It's gonna lay underneath this this little crease that it has right here. It's gonna lay into that, and you're not gonna have to worry about it pulling back, because there's gonna be tension that way, which is gonna be rolling it down around that edge. So you're just gonna want to try to get it as far into that as possible. This cart is gray, so you don't have to worry about covering every single thing, because just the color alone, it kind of matches itself. But you're going to do your best on getting every single edge covered. So as you can see right here, we already tucked it into the edge of that corner. What you're going to want to do, or what I do, is I get my blade and I lay it on the top end, which is the piece that the trunk is connected to, which is this bottom piece, not the bumper end, the top, this section. You're going to want to lay the blade on the top section and run it along that after you tuck it in with your tucking tool. So you're going to want to do that. That's going to give you a really flat, crisp cut all the way through. Same thing with this side, guys. You're going to want to keep it at the top end and run it all the way through. And yeah, do that. Just like that, guys. If you see right here, you see how this is still up. Let me get you guys a little bit closer. If you could see, let me see if the camera stay where it needed to stay. As you could see right here, the material is still up on this on that crease. All you need to do is heat it. And see, with that shrink, it's just going to be falling into place. Might need a little push, but other than that, it'll fall right down into place, guys. And as you can see, you won't have any issues with it lifting upwards. It's going to be folded down like this because the stretch that we have going this way, the material is going to want to roll over into that area. So as you can see, guys, we got the bottom, the top, and the bottom in one piece. We post heated it. The fingers are underneath the part that we're gonna actually cut, which is this, what we're actually peeling off right here. We're gonna cut all that, and that bottom end is gonna be another separate piece. But that is how you get these BMW or Honda or any vehicle that has this type of bumper, where it has a very what's it called, a very drastic curve and a very bad dip on the bottom. That's how you guys get this to lay and not pull up on the corners, guys. Let me finish this off. I'll put you on time lapse or forward this video, and we'll get a final shot of the whole vehicle.